Okay, this is a review. Solve the inequality graph, the solution, and then label your graph. I want to make up a problem here to start with. X minus 3 less than or equal to negative 6. Okay. So you make your number line. Okay, that's how you solve an inequality. You circle that. And you have to now make a wall on the X side. And what is your operation? A minus 3. So if there's not multiplying or dividing at all, you keep the sign the same. So we will keep the sign the same. So I plus 3, I plus 3. So you have X, negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So if all you have to do is add or subtract, that sign is going to stay. Eats a number. Now remember, eating the number goes this way. Okay? Because that means the number is bigger than any possible number X could be. Okay, there you go. So anything that way is possible values for X. Okay, next problem. 8x plus 2 is less than 5x minus 7. Alright, now you got two x's. That's not going to work. Now, here's the symbol. They're on opposite sides. So pick one of the x's to get rid of. I'm going to pick the 5. Okay. You add or subtract that to take it to 0. So minus 5x would take that to 0, and then minus it from 8x. So now we have 3x plus 2 less than negative 7. Okay, now I have x over here. Now there's two numbers with the x, a times 3 and a plus 2. Now you do have times. So is that a positive or a negative times number? It's positive, so that's a keep as well. Okay, because we'll be dividing, but it won't be by a negative. Now between here and here, we have to take out the 2. Okay, so we minus 2, 3 times x, negative 7 minus 2 is negative 9. Then you divide by 3. You have x, negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. So negative 3 is your number again. You don't fill it because there's not a line there and it eats a number this time, so that's headed this way. Okay. Okay, 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 3. Okay, this is the only x I have. It's over here. The numbers with it are a 2 and a 1. Okay, so what are the operations? Well, it's 2 times and then plus 1. Highlight the times, and that's a keep again because it's positive 2. Now we do have a number we have to take out in the middle step. Okay, so now I'm set. You see how I align those signs? That's for taking out the 1. So negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4, and then you got 2 times x. Then you go divide by 2, and since I'm dividing by a positive number, the sign is staying the same as we said it was going to. So you have negative 2, you circle, you fill it, it eats the x, so that goes this way. Okay, next problem. Negative 2x plus 7 less than or equal to 35. Okay, so x is over here with two numbers, so it's a times and a plus. So we highlight the times. It's a negative, so that means we'll switch the sign when we divide. Okay, but before you divide, you got to take out your 7. Now, when you're taking out your 7, you drop the sign down. Okay. Because to take out the outside number, that's adding or subtracting. That doesn't make the sign flip. Okay, so 45 minus 7 is 38, and then negative 2 times x. Now, it's time for dividing, and when we divide each side by a negative number, the sign flips. 38 divided by negative 2 is negative 19. So the critical value is negative 19. You circle, you fill it. Eats the letter, so that would be this way. And yeah. Okay, 5x minus 2 is less than 8. So I make the number line. X is over here. It's got a times 5. and a minus 2. So you want to highlight the times with a circle. That's a positive number, so we're keeping the sign the same. That's a keep. We do have to take out the negative 2 before we divide, so plus 2, 8 plus 2 is 10, then 5 times x. Okay, so divide each side by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you have 2, you circle, it's eating the value, the number, so that's this way. Okay, now on this one we have to apply our distributive property. Okay. So we put a times there, make that minus, plus, negative, and circle it, so you have to distribute here. Okay. You have to take 5 times each of those terms separately. So first multiply it by the term of 3x, then multiply it by the term of negative 2. So that's 10x, or 15x, excuse me, 15x, and then negative 10. That's a 15 there. Okay, so we have 15x plus negative 10, and there's nothing else over there, I just have the 50. Okay, now I'm ready to solve. Times 15 plus negative 10. Now the times number's a positive, so that's a keep again. But before we divide, we have to take out the negative 10. Okay, so we plus 10. Plus it to 50, that would make 60, and then 15 times x. Okay, then we divide by 15. We have x. 60 divided by 15 is 4. Okay, so you have 4. You circle. We're not going to fill it. It eats the x, so it goes this way. Okay, next one. X divided by negative 6 is less than or equal to 2. So x is over here. Now it's got one number with it. This time it's divided by. You want to highlight the divide with a circle just like you do with the dots. Okay. And since it's divided by a negative, the sign is going to switch because that means we'll need to times by a negative. Okay. So I flip the sign. There's no outside number to take out, so I go right to the multiplication of negative 6. Okay, so the times negative 6 gets rid of the divide by negative 6, and vice versa over there. So you got x. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So negative 12 is the critical value. Eats the x, eats the letters, so that would be this way. Okay, last problem on this page. X divided by 2 is less than 3. So you make a wall. You have divide. You want to circle divide just like you would times. And it's a positive, so that's a keep. So that symbol, keep it the same. So there's not an outside number that we have to add or subtract. So I go into the multiplying because that's how to get rid of divide. Okay. So I times by 2, and I times by 2. So we have the x variable. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Okay. Circle, don't fill it. It's eating the numbers, so that's headed this way. Okay, next page. Negative 2x greater than 18. Okay, just one number between the negative 2 and the x. We would put a multiplication sign, highlight it, okay, and that's a switch. Now you don't have to add or subtract, you just go right into dividing by negative 2. So you have x. 18 divided by negative 2 is negative 9. Circle, don't fill it, and it eats the number this time, so eating the numbers this way. Okay, 7 minus 6x is less than or equal to 19. Okay. Okay, so 7 and 6 is a minus, so plus negative. 6 and x is times, so you highlight your times part. And since that's a negative number, that's a switch. Okay. Of course, before we divide both sides by the negative, we have to take out our 7. So when I'm taking out the 7, I would be minusing 7. So on plus and minus, the original sign just drops. It doesn't switch till you've divided each side by the negative, which I'm not doing on this first set. 19 minus 7 is 12, and then you got negative 6 times x. Okay. And divide by negative 6, and you got x. 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. Circle fill it. It's eating the letter, so that would be headed this way. Okay, next problem. 6x minus 15 greater than or equal to 4x plus 11. Well, there's two different x's, okay? So we have to take care of that problem first before you make your wall, okay? So they're on opposite sides of the inequality, so we pick one of them to take out. I'll pick the 4. Okay, so 2x minus 15 greater than or equal to 11. Okay, now I can solve it. Okay, so you got a times and a minus. The times is by a positive, so that's a keep. Okay, but before we divide, we have to take out our negative 15. So plus 15 plus 15, you got 26, and then 2 times x. Okay, and divide each side by 2. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So 13 is your critical number. It's eating the x, so that would be going this way. Okay, how about this bad boy? It's only one symbol, so there's only one number we have to actually find. Now, here's a plus. And make that a plus negative. There's a plus. So first we take negative 3 times each of these numbers, and then 2 times each of those. So we're going to go negative 3, negative 3. First we times negative 3 to 4, then to negative 1x. That is a negative 1x. So it's going to be 9, and then I write x down. Negative 3 times negative 1 is 3. So line up the symbol, and on this side you drop your plus and you write 9, 3x. Now what comes out over here? Well, now you're multiplying the 2. 2 times 4x and 2 times negative 14. So that's 8x, and that's negative 28. Okay, it looks like we got x's on opposite sides, so I have to simplify before I solve. Okay, so how do you simplify it? Take out one of the x's. I'll take out the 8. Doesn't matter which one you take out. Okay, so you're going to have 9. 3 plus negative 8 is negative 5x. Over here you just got your negative 28. Now, finally, you can solve. You have plus and times. And your times is by a negative, so that's a switch. So switch it. The symbol. You do have a number to take out, so line up the sign from here and take out the 9 by adding it. Negative 28 minus 9 is negative 37, and over here you got negative 5 times x. Now finally it's time to divide. Okay, negative 37 divided by negative 5 gives me 7.4. So 7.4 is your critical number. You fill in the circle, eats a number, so that's this way. Okay, now, got a couple problems here. But these are compound inequalities because within the problem there are 2 symbols, okay? So, you're going to make your number line with the 0, but now you're going to make a table right underneath because you have two separate ones to solve because you have two numbers you have to find. So start a circle at the 9 and then stop it when you get to the other symbol. So the first symbol is less than or equal. You got 9 on that side and then negative 1x plus 6 on this side. Then on the other side, okay, less than 12, and then you put the negative 1. This just carries over here. Negative 1x plus 6. Now you solve each of them separately. Okay, so x is over here. A times and a plus. The times is by a negative, so that's a switch. You have to take out your 6 by minusing 6. 9 minus 6 is 3, and then negative 1 times x. Then divide each side by negative 1. You have negative 3, and then x. Times and plus, okay? So that's a switch again. You have to take out the plus 6 with a minus 6, and that's going to be 6 and negative 1 times x. Now divide each side by negative 1, you got x and negative 6. So negative 3 and negative 6 are the two critical numbers. Okay, you fill it above the negative 3, but not above the negative 6, okay? So it's eating the number on negative 3. So when it eats a number that's this way, and then it will come this way, because on the other side. So I put x, and then I put the higher number here, and the lower number here. And then we eat the higher number with the line, because that one's filled in, and then we eat the x, okay? Don't put a line there. That one's not. Okay, another compound inequality. We have that x shouldn't be on the 3. Okay, sorry about that. And that 1 should be a negative. Okay. So yeah, I messed that up. 4x plus 3 greater than or equal to negative 1, or negative 5x greater than 25. So that just, we're doing it like here. It just says or instead of having it all together. So on one side you got 4x plus 3 greater than or equal to negative 1. And on the other side you have negative 5x greater than 25. Okay, so 4x, that's times 4, so that's a keep. But we do have to take out the plus 3 before we go down there. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4, and then 4 times x. Then divide each side by 4, and you get negative 1. Now over on the other side, that's going to be a switch because you have times by a negative. You don't have to add or subtract though, you just go into your dividing. So you have x, 25 divided by negative 5 is negative 5. Okay, so you have negative 1 and negative 5. So above the negative 1 you fill in the circle because the line's there and it eats the x, so that would be this way. And the negative 5 is not filled in, so if that's going away, this one's going away too. So I write or, and then right there. Okay, now story problems. A drama club has a goal to raise at least $500 in ticket sales for its show. Student tickets cost $3 each, adult tickets cost $5 each. The club has sold 50 student tickets and are now sold out of them. Write and solve an inequality that represents the possible numbers of adult tickets sold to meet their goal. Okay, the word goal means greater than or equal to. And my goal is $500. Put a $sign 500. Now find me, how many other dollar amounts do we have? We have 2. We have $3. Now that gets multiplied because it's for student tickets. Well, I'm going to be selling more than one student ticket, so it needs to be multiplied by S. Plus $5. What's that for? What are you selling for $5? You're selling adult tickets, so times A. Okay, now we need to put one of the, don't make the wall. You got to put, you can't have two different letters. Well, fortunately I have this 50 student tickets, so S equals 50. So you cross out the S, put 50, and then circle that and find the product. 3 times 50 is 150, so now we have 150 plus 5 times A greater than or equal to 500. Now I can solve for A because I need to. Okay, so you got plus and times. The times is by positive, that's a keep. I don't think there are any story problems where you have to switch it. Now in the middle you have to take out the 150. So 500 minus 150 is 350, then you got 5 times A. Now you divide A and 70. Okay, so there's your solution. You could be at 70 or more. So it's eating the letter, so eating the letter goes this way. Okay, worked on these Friday. It says average rule at the top. That means you got to do some work on the top. My goal in science class is to earn an 84 average on my test. So far I've earned a 73, a 95, and an 87 on test. Write and solve an inequality that represents the possible scores I can get on my next test and reach my goal. So the word goal greater than or equal. Your goal is an 84, but it says an average of 84, so don't just start writing down numbers. You come up here, you make a divide line. To find the average, you need to add up add up all the numbers, divide by how many you have. Now, how many do I have? Well, I've taken 3 tests, but I'm about to take a 4, so you need to put 4 down there, okay? 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is my next one. I just don't know what I scored on it because I haven't taken it yet. So I need 4 things across the top being added. A 73 plus a 95 plus an 87, and then I need plus another thing, and that's going to be X because I don't know that. Now you're never actually able to divide by 4 because we don't have that X number. So I put X plus, and then you add the 3 that you already have. 73 plus 95 plus 87 is 255. Now, you can't do anything else up there, so drop that down. X plus 255 divided by 4. Now you have divided by, but it's positive, so that's a keep. Now we have to solve this problem a little bit differently, okay? We really do. Because both the X and the 255 are divided by 4. So when one whole side is divided by 4, you're going to times first, okay? That's the first thing you're going to do. So you're going to times by 4 to get rid of the divide by 4. And then you times the 84 by 4. So line up your symbol. And on this side, we just have the X plus 255. The divide by 4 has been taken out with the times 4. Then on the other side, we find the product of what 84 times 4 is. 336. And now you just take out your 255 minus, it's just subtraction. So you have X, 336 minus 255 is 81. So you make your number line, 0, plot your 81, you circle, you fill it, and it's eating the X, so it would go in that direction there. Okay, last problem. You have 84 feet of trim to put all the way around a rectangular banner that is 18 foot long. Write and solve an inequality that represents possible widths of the banner. Now it says have. The word have means less than or equal. So what do you have? You have 48 feet. Now, for feet, you got 18. Write that down, but it needs to be multiplied. Multiplied by what? Well, we come up here. It says it's 18 foot long, so that means that long and length mean the same thing. So it's 218, so it's 18 times 2. Plus, we also have these other two sides. W. Now there's two W's, so it's 2 times W. So we need to find the product of 18 and 2 before we solve, okay? That would be 36. Any products you're able to evaluate on the spot, you need to do so. So you got 36 plus 2 times W less than or equal to 48. Now you can solve it. So you got plus and times, you highlight the times. It's positive, so that's a keep. Now you take out your 36. So 2.W, 48 minus 36 is 12. Then you divide by your 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Circle fill it. It's eating the number. So the number goes, so it goes this way. Okay, bada bing, bada boom.